As the forbidden door has been opened, I welcome you to the eponymous event. Here we all have AEW and NJPW cooperative event, which is kinda similar to Survivor Series in WWE. I'll tell you right away, I don't watch New Japan Pro Wrestling, so I don't know all superstars from there, but I know that their focus is on quality of matches and not storylines, so I have no doubt they will shine on this pay-per-view. We got 13 matches. What's amazing, and what's even more interesting, 4 of them took place on the Buyin, and the first one of them was NJPW's Bishamon, consisting of Hiroshi Goto and Yoshihashi against the Factories Aaron Solo and QT Marshall. For the Buyin, this match was great. I mean, it lasted nearly 9 minutes. These guys moved a lot, flied around. QT Marshall got booed again, and after he attempted 450 splash and landed hard, he got hit with Oshigoroshi. Aaron Solo got hammered and Bishamon won the match. Next is also a member of Factory in the match. This time it's Nick Camarado facing the Murder Hawk Crazy Monster Lance Archer, who stormed the ring right into Nick Camarado, and these two had a classic monster brawl. Camarado got something at times, showed his power, went punch for punch with Lance Archer, but Archer got his momentum and nobody could stop him there, and he hit the massive blackout for the win. Swerve in Our Glory faces another Japanese team called Suzuki Gun of El Desperado and Yoshinobu Kanemaru, and this is the best match from this buy-in definitely. Size difference wasn't a problem for Japanese guys, and they neutralized it successfully many times. Keith Lee and Swerve just missed their shots, and Suzuki Gun's teamwork was a thing of beauty. Even when Swerve and Keith were catching them, those guys were able to stop them and even spit some whiskey into Keith Lee's eyes. But when they eventually found their way, where Swerve stomped El Desperado and Keith Lee finished Yoshinobu Kanemaru, the only thing left to do for everyone is to swerve in their glory. Some kind of spirit squad of NJPW's edition faces Max Caster and Gun Club in a 4-on-4 tag team match. But Denhausen made fools out the ass boys, and that's why they ran out backstage to search Denhausen. And Caster with Daddy Ass left 2-on-4. At first they struggled in a disadvantage, but then Caster dropped these guys. Tagged Billy Gunn, and Big Daddy Ass wiped all these guys out, and Max Caster finished the match via mic drop. And only now, that's it for the buy-in. And that's just the taste of what's to come, so let's go. Chris Jericho and Sammy Guevara along with Minoru Suzuki versus NJPW's Shota Umino, Ring of Honor Pure Champion Wheeler Yuta, and fearless, vengeful Eddie Kingston. And the winning team earns blood and guts match advantage. The match started with Wheeler Yuta suplexing the shit out of Chris Jericho and continued with 6-man chaos. To point out, I loved where Eddie Kingston and Minoru Suzuki tried to show one another who's tougher via chops. And, for example, Kingston's machine gun chops didn't work at all on Minoru Suzuki, and he dropped him in one shot. And this was the way Chris Jericho was taking advantage on Eddie the entire match. Also, I have to tell about how amazing Shota Umino looked there, fighting all 3 opponents and not giving up. But eventually, after taking out Sammy Guevara and Minoru Suzuki, Chris Jericho called this a young 25-year-old man with Judas effect and earned the advantage for Jericho Depreciation Society. Next bout is a 3-way winner takes all tag team match for the Ring of Honor World Tag Team Championships and IWGP Tag Team Championships between Roppongi Vice, United Empire and FTR. During the match, Dax Harwood hurt his elbow and proceeded backstage, and while Cash Wheeler was alone, those two bulls, Great O'Khan and Jeff Cobb, wore him down a little bit. But he tagged his opponent Trent Beretta and he put onto amazing teamwork with Rocky Romero to slow United Empire down. After Cash got tagged again, he was in need of help from someone, and there Dax heroically returned to the ring and bulldozed through the United Empire. Roppongi Vice hit strong zero onto Jeff Cobb, but Cash interrupted, and FTR called Rocky Romero with the big rig and triumphantly took all championships, and also they solidified themselves as one of the greatest tag teams of all time. The first ever AEW All Atlantic Champion is about to be crowned in a 4-way match between Clark Connors, Pac, Malachi Black and Miro. So here we have young and ambitious Clark Connors, Pac and Malachi who can't stand each other, and Miro who's ready to slaughter everyone. And Miro was simply unkillable in this match, throwing around Clark Connors, taking out Pac, and even dominated Malachi. Things heated up between Miro and Malachi in the match, and when Miro was finishing Pac in an accolade, Malachi sprayed his black mess into his face and hit back heel kick. And I guess the new rivalry has been teased. And that's where Pac took control of the match, hit 450 on Malachi, and won the match via brutalizer on Clark Connors. And it means that Pac finally won a freaking championship in AEW. He has been in AEW since day one, so he deserves this championship more than anyone. Malachi Black still has time to win a gold later. As we move on, Bullet Club takes on a modern version of Dudes with Attitudes, and Sting decided to surprise his opponents and jump on them from the up high before the match and start the fight early. Darby Allin was getting manhandled, but when Sting tagged himself, he didn't care about any tricks, any low blows, any super kicks. There was no effect on him. There was only one dangerous moment when Sting got triple super kick, but Young Bucks then missed BTA trigger and got double Scorpion Death Drop. And later Shingo Takagi pulled out Last of the Dragon on El Fantasma to score the win for Dudes with Attitudes. Sting still undefeated in AEW. On the backstage, Jericho Depreciation Society kind of praised Shota Umino, but then actually Chris Jericho dropped a fireball into his face. So here I have an advice for Jericho. Do this to Jon Moxley, he doesn't care and he's gonna eat you alive. Orange Cassidy challenges incredibly talented Will Ospreay for the IWGP United States Heavyweight Championship. It's their secondary championship. At first, Orange Cassidy was able to outsmart Ospreay on many occasions and even troll him a lot, get in his head. But as the match rolled on, Orange tried to pretend that he's hurt. Ospreay believed it and tried a moonsault. Missed, but immediately continued on with his somersaults. Orange tried Orange Punch, but Ospreay countered into his katas, Lariat and Stormbreaker to retain his championship. Just an awesome match. But after the match, these United Empire jackasses attacked Orange Cassidy. Roppongi Vice tried to even up the odds, but got thrown out and they continued to beat Cassidy. But then, suddenly, Dangerous Striker Katsuri Shibata's song hit, and he came out to knock out United Empire bitches and wipe out Will Ospreay and celebrate with Orange Cassidy. Bryan Danielson was scheduled to face technician Zack Sabre Jr., but he was not medically cleared to compete, and that's why right before the match he presented his mystery replacement, and it turned out to be Claudio Castagnoli, which is known as Cesaro in WWE. And he was so fired up that right after the bell he hit European uppercut and neutralizer to finish the match early, but Zack came for a fight and kicked out. Meanwhile, Claudio didn't stop there and during the entire match was running on all cylinders with his running uppercuts, incredible feats of strength like walking up the stairs by holding Zack with one hand. What about swing? It didn't go quite well as Claudio spinned him around only 6 times because he couldn't hang on. Zack showed big resistance in submission game many times. And in the end Claudio performed elevated uppercut, thunderous clothesline, and a collar bomb to welcome himself to AEW with the victory in his debut. And I have no doubt he will be pushed in AEW, because Vince McMahon requires big entertainment part from you, while in AEW wrestling part is at the first place, and this is where Claudio Castagnoli is at his best. Next match is for the IWGP World Heavyweight Championship, and this title is the biggest in NJPW. We have 4-way match where there are 2 stars from AEW and 2 stars from NJPW, and also 2 heels and 2 faces, and also 1 heel and 1 face from AEW and 1 heel and 1 face from NJPW. All of this is such a perfect composition, and you can just feel how big this match is. Adam Cole and Jay White played rat games, tried to avoid damage and work together while the Rainmaker Kazuchika Okada was wrestling with honor, and Hangman Adam Page was bringing a thunderstorm, trying to destroy everyone. Cole and White's temporary alliance worked a lot, and created many beneficial moments for them. But Hangman and Okada brought a big fight back to them also. Page was lining up Jay White for backshot, but his sidekick Jiro interfered and got punched in the mouth. And only on the second try Hangman hit backshot, and on the cover Okada interrupted the pinfall. End of the match is very strange. Cole super kicked Page, Okada missed Rainmaker on Cole and got wiped out by Blade Runner from Jay White, and Jay White pinned Adam Cole, who didn't get damaged. I don't know, but okay, let's jump right into the main event. Jon Moxley and NJPW legend Hiroshi Tanahashi face each other to crown new interim AEW World Champion, while CM Punk is injured. I didn't appreciate this decision to keep the title on CM Punk, because he's out for long. Just vacate the championship and crown new normal champion, not an interim one. What about the match? Moxley was unapologetic, ruthless, and didn't care who he is in the ring with from bell to bell. Tanahashi also didn't miss his shots, and that's why he is the ace. He worked well in submission game to weaken Moxley. One outside the ring highlight: Jon Moxley put Tanahashi through the table with Uranagi, who got back to the ring by the referee's count of 9. Also, there was one beautiful crossbody from the third rope to outside from Hiroshi. Then he survived Bulldog choke from Moxley, who finished so many opponents with this. But eventually Bloody John finished the match with the Death Rider and was crowned the new interim AEW World Champion. And regardless of this title's name, he's a full-valued AEW champion. So it means he's the first ever two-time AEW champion. But we don't end here, as Moxley and Tanahashi showed respect to each other. Jericho and Garcia ran down to the ring to attack them. Kingston and company joined them. The rest of Jericho Depreciation Society attacked them. But then there was Claudio Castagnoli, who helped them to even up the odds, impose his will, and uppercut everyone to then celebrate with his friends. And let's talk about the show in general. Obviously the Forbidden Door has been opened, and it creates a new perspective to make more cooperative shows between giants of wrestling industry in the future. And maybe even WWE will someday start collaborating with other companies. Who knows? Survivor Series doesn't bring those amazing emotions anymore. Why not step up to a whole new level? There we have rivalry between two brands. Here we have rivalry between two promotions. Similar vibes. And this show was successful, of course. No shocking title changes, but a great stuff overall. Many matches. Well deserved 9 stars. Very big thank you everyone. Subscribe and wait for more. See you later.